Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to this session of Through the Arsenal Gates. I have the honor of introducing people who have made history, are making history, or will make history. Today, we have a very interesting person on board by the name of Candice Schultz. Candice, tell us where you grew up.
For most of my life, I grew up Dearborn, Michigan.
Okay. What street did you grow up on?
Berkeley, just a couple streets off of Telegraph Road on Cherry Hill.
Sure. And what schools did you attend?
I attended Divine Child and then also Dearborn High School.
Did your education stop with Dearborn High, or did you continue?
No, I went to Michigan State University.
Is that in Ann Arbor?
No, that's in Lansing. That's nice.
All right, Candice, tell us who the most important people were in your life growing up. Who was the most influential?
When I think about that, I'm not sure I have like a one person. So I truly believe learning from people, like all kinds of people, is what was most influential for me.
Give us some characters along the way.
My parents, they both have different attributes about them. My dad was a business owner for as long as I was alive. So learning the business traits from him was something I admired and looked into my whole life. My mom was a very big entrepreneur, liked to do her own thing. She's very spontaneous and very creative. So I've learned a lot of traits from her. My aunt was very big in politics and traveled the world. So there's just so many different things in my life that kind of added to the dynamic mix.
Candice, when you were 12 years old, what did you think you wanted to do for a living?
I always wanted to be in theater on stage. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes, I missed that one.
Wow. Okay. Now that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any interesting tidbits on your Aunt Judy?
My Aunt Judy. Well, she was like my second mom growing up. And one of the things I like about her the most is just she's got a quest to travel and explore and learn things and teach people. She's interesting. She's always interesting. She's always got a good story to tell.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And tell us what your philosophy of life is.
My philosophy of life. Be a good person and just keep learning, moving forward. Don't be so hard on yourself. I'm learning that one.
And your values, what are the things that are important to you?
Family, friends, being a good family member. I'm a mom, being a good friend. I enjoy helping people. So wherever I'm doing, whether it's my career or other hobbies, I enjoy getting to meet people and helping them. I value hard work, good work, and creativity, and just have some fun.
All right. Now, everybody's had a range of jobs along the way. Tell us some of the jobs you've had along the way that maybe were good, maybe weren't so good.
Well, I started off at 10 years old working for my dad. So my dad was a butcher. He owned his own meat business. So I cut meat and packed it early on.
Wow. How did you deal with that? Was it fun or?
It just is what it is. I didn't know any different. I was told to do it, so I did it. It wasn't the best smelling job by any means. I think about that now. And then maybe that moved me into the corporate world where it's straight lace. So, but then I worked in the food industry after that. I was a waitress for a long period of time. I really enjoyed.
Where did you wait?
International House of Pancakes and then TGI Fridays.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What did you learn from those experiences?
Gosh, they taught me so much. The thing I learned the most was I was extremely shy and very introverted, and that kind of job got me out of my shell to learn how to talk with people, take care of them, communicate. Something I really needed
Now,
growing up.
um, now I find that interesting. You when you were 12, you thought about being on stage, and that you're an said that you were an introvert. How does that work?
I think in my dream world, I love theater and I love dressing up in the flair. And I knew deep down I was polar opposite of that. So I guess my quest for life was learning how to be more extroverted.
Okay, did it work?
Yes, I think so.
All right,
Yeah.
very good. Um, what's the worst job you ever had?
Ooh. I did a paper route and it started at 3 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the morning
Oh,
delivering. Um, it wasn't the Wall Street Journal. It was a different money newspaper, but I delivered to a lot of financial places. But it was early in the morning, and it was a lot. I was traveling when no one else was on the road, and I was 16, I think, at the time.
yeah. Okay. All right. What did you learn from that bad experience?
That I don't want to be on the road at 4 o'clock in the morning. um, it's a very quiet place, but I enjoyed it. You find new ways to create what you do and to make it more effective. And I did that. I narrowed down how to do it in 3 hours and not 4.5 hours. So it was just one of those things I can figure out.
Okay.
hmm
Tell us about your husband and your daughters.
My husband, his name is Brian Schultz. We've been married 16 years. He works at Plant Moran. He's also in the financial industry. That's how we met. And my daughters are almost 12 and 9 in the next 45 days. So, and they're quite creative and they're very math geniuses. They do really well in math.
Oh, very good. Now, we were honored to have gone to your wedding.
Yes.
Tell the audience about the orbs.
The orbs. Okay. Well, my my aunt is very spiritual and clearly believes that they're when people pass away, they're watching over us. And on our wedding, all our cameras and photos had a lot of these orbs that she calls them, these shiny, they look like big balls hanging around in the air. And she always says those are our loved ones watching over us. But my wedding day had so many in the photos.
And tell our audience who had just passed away.
My uncle just passed away.
Okay. All right, very
Yes, my
good.
uncle David.
Now, one of the exercises that your mom had you do was to write your eulogy. Tell our audience about that.
That was an interesting. I got a random phone call one day, and my mom's been training to be a spiritual advisor at the time. And she said, I was on this project. So I have a project for you. Are you willing to do it? And she asked me to write my eulogy of pick 3 things that I think people would say currently if I passed away today about me. And then she said that I challenge you to pick 3 things you would want them to say about you. And so I did it, and I put it together, and I thought that was a really interesting project because the 3 things I thought people would say weren't exactly the 3 things I wanted them to say. And then when I wrote them down, I kept them on a piece of paper and I filed it. But I would say the next 5 years of my life, I really made a conscious effort to work on the 3 things I wanted people to say.
So they're more consistent now with what people would say and what you would like them to say.
Yes, but the caveat to that is it evolves, right? So I think doing something like that every 5 years is interesting because you might change. The top 3 might not be what you want as the top 3, but
Sure.
you still have them. So I
Yeah,
think it just continues to evolve. It's a nice little project.
yeah, absolutely. Now, you've had a wide range of occupational interests, very unusual. Tell our audience about them.
Well, I've been a financial planner or financial advisor, you could say, for almost just over 20 years. It's my first real career out of college, and I stuck with it for 20 years. And then I've started transitioning, not just financial consulting, into coaching, life coaching, spiritual coaching, financial coaching. And then I also have written a poem book. I have a book published in poetry.
How do you reconcile all these things? I mean, there's, maybe commonality between two of them, any two of them, but all three of them is a little unusual.
It's true. One's a definitely creative side and one's like a math side, but I think the underlining dynamic of all three of them definitely hits me to my core. It's a human interest. Poetry is very of human interest to me. It's just a different way of expressing it. And even though financial advising might be numbers, the career I chose is really all about the people. It's the relationships and the human element of helping people in that arena. So, and then coaching is really helping people. It's really getting down to like, what are they trying to do? So the human element of it is very consistent. It's creatively shown differently in each area.
Give us an example of your coaching. What are some of the dynamics that you go through? What are some of the dynamics that people you're talking to go through?
So the coaching is very interesting to me because I've been in consulting my whole life. So consulting is really helping to advise people to make a, better decision. But coaching is really trying to help them discover within more the decisions they want to make for themselves. Is really bringing out that potential in themselves that we hold a lot of our own answers with the right support and partnership. So I really lately have been working with a lot of people just on work-life balance, trying to really create like people who are very career focused, been career focused, but really want to emphasize that family relationships or the relationships within themselves, and then how to really kind of change that dynamic and make more of that fulfillment in their lives of creating that balance.
Now, how do you get people? How do you draw people to have you as their coach?
Well, I know a lot of people from the advising world, so I think that's helped me quite a bit. And I'm starting to do some classes and workshops this year. So, but this is a newer career choice path for me, so it keeps evolving. I went through all my schooling to get my certifications. Um, and then right now this year is really kind of launching it out there just to introduce myself more.
What are some of the problems that you see people having in their lives that you say, I should really slap you around, but I'm going to be polite?
We are our own worst enemy. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy sometimes on how we think about things and what we're conditioned to think like. And a lot of that we're conditioned from our childhood into our career. So it's really kind of breaking it down and really kind of creating those new perspectives to how we think about things. A lot of people could be looking at very similar scenarios and think about them very differently. And then that creates a lot more behind the scenes, whether it's a feeling, whether it's more fulfillment. We could be dealing with the same scenario, but a lot of times we just get in our own way.
Do you have any people that have really serious issues to deal with, or?
If they're serious issues, normally we will, they'll probably have a conversation where they're more looking for therapy and not coaching.
Okay.
Coaching is looking at things on how to, drive answers from within and move forward. It's really more, individuals seeking to move forward with their life and making it better. Therapy is really trying to get down to some core issues on why it's happening. So there's definitely a differential between the two.
Now, what is the training that you got to enable you to be a coach?
We go through a training called ICF, which is the International Coaching Federation. And so I picked a school that was heading in that direction to get, I've taken classes to get certified. We took a 3-month class I took a couple of those and some advanced coaching classes. So all that's under the ICF, International Coaching Federation. It's the most regulatory or closest thing to kind of regulating coaching at this point.
All right. What's going to be your next occupation? Maybe that's an unfair question.
You never know. I think we're so multidimensional. You know, that's one of my philosophies, is kind of honoring that multi-dimension piece of you. It's kind of like you. I've gotten to know you and all your interests and things that you've done over the years. And that's what's very cool about people, is we're very multidimensional. We have different things that very much interest us or that we're passionate about. And I love math and solving problems and helping people, but I also love the creative flair of words and writing and that artistic side. So you find things in your life that you can fill those in, or even just do them, even if they're little, you include them in your life.
Yeah. All right. I know your mom is a big writer of journals. Now you write poetry. That's different, or is it the same?
I think it's just a different expression.
Okay.
She might write a lot of journals on what she's experiencing and how she feels. And poetry is just a way of explaining a concept or something I've learned or gone through, but put it in a very creative flow of where hopefully some other people can resonate with it.
Now, have you always written, or is this comparatively a new dimension that
this was a COVID May of 2020 new venture for me, as I'm sitting there and I wrote a poem for my girls. I wrote them each a poem. That's how I started this. And it was a way of me expressing my feelings and some moments I experienced with them. And that just started the whole process for me. I was not a writer and didn't really have a lot of writing projects prior to that, but I am a music lover and love lyrics. So I think that kind of really helped me with the poetry.
Can you recite a poem for us?
I could read one.
Sure. Do you have one at your fingertips?
I do.
Good.
So this one's called Home. A place I dreamed of since I was a little girl, a place where I could be away from the world, a place where I could go that was quiet and serene, somewhere I could ponder and let my mind just be. A place where I felt safe, where the beauty of nature around, even better when people I love, where my heart calms down. Somewhere I could just be that creates a feeling of home for me. I hope we all find this place. It would be wonderful and such an amazing gift. A place that allows us to reconnect to what life is all about, where we can refresh, where I listen to my mind, my heart, my soul, for they're always sharing when I'm open to explore. A time to just sit and feel, a time to reflect, a time to reveal, where the light can shine through, pull all those walls down to see what you can do. I start to feel refreshed and finally renewed. I want this place for me, for you. And then I ask, where is this place for me? The answer then came, you have to create it, you see. It's not one particular place, but these feelings occur that the importance of this space. It could be a place of nature you like to go. It could be while with a friend or just even at home. It could be in travels or spending time outside. It could be with special people that I met as time goes by. It took me a while to see this clear, that a feeling of being connected is what makes this place so dear. Something about them resonates deeper within, for this feeling I feel flows so free. This sense of peace is why we are here. It's the biggest clue when this place appears. For you will know this feeling you feel is home.
Very good. Very good. Now, Candice, when you were in college, did you take more than the 4 basic classes in English or not?
No.
Okay.
I took a lot of math and science and business.
What kind of grade point average did you have, out of curiosity?
I was probably in the high 3s.
Okay. All right, very good. Now, if you had to divide your professional life into the 3 areas, what percentage of your energies do you put into each category? Coaching, financial planning, and writing.
That is evolving for sure as I recreate this career of mine. But I spend a good amount of week with my family. That's really important to me. So I would say, a good third of my week is with my family and my daughters. And then I would say the other third is probably with work, and that's divided between financial planning and starting this coaching business. And then there's some fluff in there, what either it's learning or doing something for myself or with my friends, and just kind of keeping that balance going. I really believe in the balance.
Good. Candice, what is the name of your book?
It's actually called SEE. So SEE. It's like a silly acronym I put together for spiritually evolving every day. But I'm a true believer in how we see will determine who we will be. So I think that's how I came up with the word SEE, S-E-E. The book really meant going a little bit more deeper and with some basic concepts in life, and just really taking it more in of some of the deeper meanings of those concepts.
Okay.
In a very simplistic form.
And how could somebody buy your book?
It's on Amazon right now.
Okay. Right.
Or they can contact me directly. I have quite a few.
All right. So you're self-published. Are you happy with the self-publishing business?
I am actually not self-published. I was published through a publishing house, but I think based on some things what happened in COVID, it's moving into self-publishing moving forward.
Okay. All right. Now, Candice, tell our audience how you got into the financial planning business.
I really like numbers, and I really, growing up, I realized money plays a very big part in relationships and in the household, and I didn't really understand it. And I really wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to create any kind of negative environments for me. And I really wanted to make sure I learned how to go do that. And so when I thought about this career, I never really thought about financial planning, but then I was like, wow, that could be the best thing for me to do. Not only will I learn how to do it myself, then I can learn to teach others how to do it as well.
Very good. What tips might you have for our audience in terms of financial planning? Are most people kind of have their financial act together or not?
That's a good relative question. I'm not so sure. I would say financial planning, the thing that comes to my mind is it's never too, it's never too late to start, and it's nice when you start early. But financial planning, a lot of misconception around that is it's around investments, or I need money to do something like that. But the reality is financial planning is just really making good financial decisions with what you have to work with. And so the reality is we can start at any point in time learning how to do that. And the earlier we start, the better it gets and the easier it gets down the road. And I think the other thing with financial planning that makes it unique is you don't look at things in isolation. So it's not just investments, it's not just retirement, it's not just saving for my child's school, building some cash, paying off debt. Everything impacts something else. So the more you can look at it in a more comprehensive approach versus in an isolated decision, I think really matters.
Do you ever have any sleepless nights over your financial planning segment of your life?
Sometimes I do. It's usually when my clients are in really big transitions, making some big decisions. And my job is to help them see different things, different roads, different pathways, educate. And, sometimes I always want to make sure, am I doing enough to help them make those decisions?
Tell our audience the name of the firm you work for.
I work for a company called Hans Financial Services, and we're a Southfield-based company, but we are mainly located predominantly in Michigan.
And what would you say the philosophy of the company is?
The philosophy of the company is personal growth. We are a big company that strives on continuing to grow our employees and as well as helping our clients to grow. But the underlying philosophy of the financial planning is holistic financial planning. So it's really creating a model for clients that can come there and look at everything under one roof and have a partner and a team to help them do so.
Is Hands different from most financial planning outfits?
There's some of them are just different. So some financial planners focus on a couple areas. Some are just, investment based. We are a broker dealer, but we're also a fiduciary. We hold a dual capacity. But what makes us a little bit unique is we have a lot of those services in-house. So we actually extend the branches out with things like banking, mortgages, debt, home and auto insurance, life insurance. So we pretty much try to extend out to all those financial decisions that we make, we want to make sure that we're a part of. So it's all kind of cohesively working together.
Being a professional, a spouse, and a parent can keep one running. Give us 3 thoughts on time management.
Really know what's important during the week. Because there's a few different areas I really like to work in, I've learned to write down the top few things I want to get done in each of those areas, and that becomes more of my weekly focus because everyone has a time, we're in time crunch. We want to do a lot of things. So that keeps my focus. And then I don't get so hard on myself on some of the other things that maybe I wanted to get done underneath those. Keep moving forward and just don't be so hard on yourself and take some time for rest and relaxation to rejuvenate. Mm-hmm.
What do you want people to say about you as you pass on to the next life?
I think, one of the number one things would just be like, she's a kind person, caring, genuinely want to help people. I truly like honoring people for who they are and their unique gifts. And I hope that comes out in my personality to root them on to show the world what they can do. And I want to be a good mom for my girls, a good role model for my girls.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this wonderful interview with Candice Schultz. If you enjoyed the program, tell all your friends and neighbors and relatives. If you didn't enjoy it, just keep it to yourself. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Glenn.
Yeah, thank you.